All right, guys, this workout has 3 sections. The first section, you have 4 movements: goblet squat, renegade row, push-ups, and lateral raises with dumbbells. For that A section, you're doing 3 rounds of 4 movements, and you're doing 1 minute each. So 1 minute maximum reps on goblet squat, 1 minute maximum reps on renegade row, push-ups, lateral raise, etc. So that first section will take you a minimum of 12 minutes if you didn't take any breaks at all. The second section is you have a cash in and a cash out that's the same. You're doing 30 thrusters. Try to do as many as you can before you take a break, because that middle section of 4 rounds of 20 reps of each is all core. So the big cardio push is in the beginning and at the end. So you really want to try to maximize expanding your cardiovascular capacity and muscle endurance on the thrusters. So try not to do 5 and then take a break and 5, etc. Instead, go for broke on how many you can do without taking a break. And then you'll do your 4 rounds of 20 reps of those core movements. And then you'll finish with a super speedy set of 30 thrusters. The last section, you have 4 rounds of 4 movements. You're doing 10 per side of single leg deadlifts, 40 seconds of seated overhead carry with leg marches, 75-second wall sit with or without weight on across your lap, and 12 no push-up burpees to a weighted stand-up. So it essentially finishes like a deadlift. Good luck and have fun. In the goblet squat, you just want to make sure that your rear end hips are descending at or below knee level. Dumbbells directly under your chin, elbows in front of the ribs, encouraging your upper body to stay pretty upright. Renegade row, you want to try to minimize your hip movement from side to side. So if you notice that it's excessive, widen your foot stance. Keep your chest between the dumbbells, over top of the dumbbells at all times. Push-ups. If you can get this range of motion where your chest and nose are nearly touching the ground, stay on your toes. At the moment you start to arch or can't keep neutrality, drop to your knees. Lateral raise, make sure the dumbbells stop on the outside of your hips. Don't catch momentum by letting the dumbbells come into your groin. Elbows are a little bit soft so that it's not stressful to the elbow. Okay, here you can either do thrusters or push press. So I'm showing thrusters first, where you get a full squat and a fast press out of the bottom. For those of you who need to protect your knees or squats are not great for you right now, I'm going to demonstrate push press instead. So you'll start in the same position with the dumbbells above the shoulders, dip and drive, and push the arms up and back so that you can't see them in your peripheral vision. Butt lifts. You want to try to keep your feet over your hips as you apply pressure with your arms and lift your hips up off the ground. Try to slow down on the way back to the ground so that you're using muscles to put the brakes on. Leg raises. You're going to lift, but not all the way up to above your hips because that makes it easy. Instead, stop short and then only drop your feet as low as you can remain lower back pressed into the ground. So adjust how far your legs drop based on your form. Side plank elevations, either on your elbow or on your hand. For sure, on your hand is harder because there's more space to drop your hip and lift. So using your obliques and your shoulder, elevate your body away from the ground. If this feels too challenging, cross one leg over the top and still try to make the mind to muscle connection to make the oblique do it, rather than just using that front foot to press into the leg and making it a leg workout. So use the oblique and the shoulder to lift. This is the cash out, just demonstrating that after you've done those rounds of butt lift, leg raise, side plank, you do either the thrusters or the push press. Okay, single leg deadlift. That back foot is on the ground, but you're not using it to push your way up. So if you wanted to, you could elevate the foot completely off the ground, or you could place it on the ground, but just make sure you're not using it to help you stand up. 10 on each side of those. Then you're gonna come into that press position, but in a seated position, and do leg raises for this set. Being seated helps you avoid any possible back arch, and the leg raise allows you to engage your core while you're doing it. Wall sit, you can either do this with or without weight. If wall sits have become pretty easy for you, please make sure that you're either increasing the time or adding weight so that you can really feel challenged by this movement. Okay, no push-up burpee to a stand-up or what looks like a deadlift. I'm showing the first version. This works if you have a lot of hip flexibility and your feet can actually come all the way up to the dumbbells. This version is if you have somewhat limited flexibility in your hips. This, having the dumbbells on the inside, will allow your feet to be in line with the dumbbells. The most important thing is that whatever object you're